Today on Public Property, will Marvin end up doing a bit of washing and ironing for the lads at the London Broncos Rugby League team? And Carla's being put through her paces by All Saints personal trainer Nikki Waterman. Does she have what it takes to follow in Nikki's footsteps?
Well, as a trainer, you've got to want to be fit. You've got to keep fit, because otherwise people are going to look at you and think, hang on, if she's not fit, what am I going to her? Yeah? You've got to
to Public Property, the show where you determine what the future holds for our 7 participants. All you have to do is pick up the phone and vote on what you think they should do next. So it's week 5 of Public Property, and our merry gang are coming to terms with you deciding what's best for them. Now, Marcia from South London is finally tackling her lifelong fear of driving. Manchester lad Marvin is on a mission to impress his idol, Richard Branson. Sisters Carla and Rebecca from Leicester are realising that they're perhaps more different than they thought. International rowing coach Mark is thinking maybe sport is where his future lies after all. And Katie and Paul from Brighton are still managing to avoid proper jobs. Who knows where they'll all end up? One thing is certain though, only one individual or couple will end up walking away with the Public Property Prize, an invaluable package of cash, contacts and know-how. Now, up until now, our participants have been quite cagey about their chances of winning, but on Friday, Marvin, who else, laid his cards on the table.
Failure's not an option. If it comes to the end, then I'll deal with it. But for now, I might as well be positive, and the self-belief is that I will win.
Not a man for hiding his light under a bushel. Well, whether Marvin wins or not will be entirely up to you. In the final week of the series, we'll ask you to vote out the participants one by one until we're left with a winner. And of course, our council here will have their own ideas on who should stay and who should go. Jane, who's your favourite at the moment?
Marvin is my favourite because he's got what it takes to be another Richard Branson. He's got confidence, self-motivation, charisma.
Oh, Jane.
I don't think he's arrogant. I think it's all within there to be even better than Branson.
She's sold, that woman. She's absolutely sold. What do you think, Peter?
I think Carla and Rebecca deserve it because Rebecca is excellent. She's refreshing. She's got lovely teeth. She's great. And also, I think Carla's wonderful because with the kidney dialysis, she didn't mention it at the very beginning of the show, and they've come through fantastic so far.
Peter, you're a very lucky man, or maybe you're psychic, because guess who's here today? It's Rebecca and Carla. You've been tampering with my counsel, you pair. I know you have, absolutely. Now, Rebecca, you had a quiet week. You've been catching up with your college work. Carla, you've been hard at it, haven't you?
I have indeed.
Yes. Now, you've been exploring the possibility of becoming a fitness trainer because you've got qualifications in that line, and you had a session with Nikki Waterman,
yep,
trainer to All Saints and Robbie Williams, yes, and that was the only thing you were interested in last week. You weren't that keen on the personal instructions. So, are you coming around to it? Do you think it might be something you'd consider?
She did make me feel really guilty that I hadn't pursued anything in training. I'd even let myself fall, you know, by the wayside as well. So she's put me through my paces, she's told me what to expect from a personal trainer and gave me a lot of tips.
Did she inspire you? Did you think
she did?
She's
very inspiring.
Good.
The only thing about her and me is that she's much more of a bully, so I have to learn to be a bully.
Oh, well, you can practice on Rebecca.
I will do.
There you go. Now, a glimpse, a sniff of a sweaty sock or anything else?
The only man around was the builders and Hugo the dog.
Hugo the dog. He's quite a good-looking dog. I've seen him. I think you're in with Peter. I wouldn't worry about him. Talking of sweaty socks, now Marvin was very, very worried on Friday that he was going to have to be cleaning sweaty socks because he's off to the bright lights of London to work at Richard Branson's London Broncos Rugby League club. But what did you decide that he should do when he gets there? Well, here were the options that we gave you. Should he scrub down those rugby boots and launder those dirty shirts as a kit boy for the team? Quite fancy that myself. Should he work in the marketing department of the club, or should he help promote the club's image by going out into local community? Well, what did you decide? You decided that he would benefit from talking to people of all ages, men and women, in the local community to promote the club's image. So what did he reckon?
Tremendous, fabulous.
That again, I'm flabbergasted that, well, not flabbergasted. I'm really pleasantly surprised that I've not been. I was expecting to be cleaning kits, but it would appear the public see that there are more dimensions to me than just the fact that I can clean, because I can clean, but I just don't want to do it anymore. Anyway, it's brilliant.
Well, I tell you what, one strong dimension to Marvin is that he wants to be a winner, and he threw down the gauntlet on Friday. He says, you know, he's going to win this thing. So you two girls just happy to concede, throwing in the towel?
I just hope he gets more people to the club than he did to his ball. Otherwise, I think the club's going to be financially difficulty.
Oh, you're talking about his Valentine's ball. He didn't actually have them rolling up, did he, for his auction?
It was a disgrace, considering we had no budget at all. We had nobody telling us what to do.
And he said he's putting in the most effort.
So all we'd like to say to Marvin is, Marvin, if you need the advice, come and see us.
Oh, someone get a bit woo! Jane's not happy with you, I can tell you that. Well, there are, of course, 7 of you in this race.
Yeah.
And one of them is Katie, so let's catch up with her. Now, she's getting her big break to write a script for the new Crossroads. But first, she has to get herself a job as a hotel receptionist so she can do a bit of character research, we call it.
Katie's looking for inspiration for her Crossroads script, but before she can begin her research in a hotel, she has to actually get the job first.
Should we go through and I'll take you through to the restaurant, it's nice and quiet in there.
Okay.
This is obviously our bar area here. If you want to come through, I'll show you through. Where did you hear about the job?
Through Total Recruitment.
Oh, brilliant.
From Aaron and presumably you went to them, did you? Aaron and Matt.
So coming back to why you want to be a receptionist.
It's something I've been considering for quite a while. I went on hold when I had Oliver, but when I was growing, after 3 years, I was growing unhappy doing the dental nursing. So I think I'd rather be in an environment where people aren't in pain, like in a nursing home or in a dental surgery.
We only have guests in pain when they're working out in the gym.
Oh, right. My only concerns about myself is the clerical side of things, how much clerical work there is.
There isn't an awful lot of clerical work, to be honest with you. It's very customer based.
Yeah,
we do use computers a lot as well. Right, Kate, that's brilliant. That's all I need to know for now. Should we go on the guided tour and I'll show you around a few of the facilities that we have, and then perhaps we can talk about having you in for a couple of hours and see how you feel. So we go through to the Health Club, it's just through here.
Right. Yeah,
so what do you think then?
It's lovely, it's amazing. It was a lot to take in, but no,
it's a lovely job. It really is an interesting job. I mean, you meet so many different people. Yeah. You have so many different roles to do as a receptionist.
Yeah,
it's not just handing out keys and filing your nails like some people sort of see it as. What we normally say to people is, we want to get to know you and we'd like you to get to know us.
Yes.
So we always think it's a good idea if you come in on a trial basis.
Yes,
spend a few hours over a couple of days with us.
Yeah.
Not only do you get a feel for the hotel and a feel for the staff, but you also see if it's a job that you actually want to do. Yeah. They're a brilliant twosome. They sort of run the restaurant as they do.
Yes.
They know all the customers.
How many head chefs have you got?
Katie's given a guided tour of the hotel and asked to come back for a trial period. But what were the manageress's first impressions of Katie?
The interview with Katie went very well. She's a great talker, not so sure on how she'll listen to me when I'm actually trying to train her. I find it very hard sometimes to talk to her or put my point across.
Katie has to start work at 7 a.m. the next day and is given a few tips before she starts her first shift.
Right, so what about these clothes? Are these not really quite right?
No, something dark and a white blouse, yeah.
Right, I've got to go and sort that out. I might have to go now, actually, if I've got time.
Katie's got a good feeling about this place.
Right, OK, then, well, it's been lovely meeting you,
and
I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. I think being placed in this particular hotel is going to be absolutely fantastic for my research for writing a script for Crossroads, because it's that sort of hotel, I think.
She hasn't got any experience, which does worry me, especially with the computer side of it. It's not an easy job. So full training will be given for that. I'm sure she'll be fine, but we'll soon tell when we have her in tomorrow on the trial period, so hopefully we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how that works out for Katie on Wednesday. What do you two think?
I think she should go down to the local video shop and get the reruns of Crossroads when it was very first on.
Good idea.
To see that hotel was probably nothing like what she's expecting.
I think she'll be good though as a receptionist, because like she says in that, she's going to find it difficult to listen to other people, but she's got the gift of the gab, hasn't she? She is good at talking to people and making people feel really comfortable.
Yeah, as long as they don't have any complaints. Yeah. Yes, thank you, bye.
Yeah.
Anyway. OK, but Carla, it's all about you today and how you got on with Nikki Waterman. So we're going to find out after the break whether or not you managed to impress her. She is, after all, personal trainer to All Saints and... Who is it again, Carla? Robbie Williams.
There are lots of personal trainers around, but there are good personal trainers and there are lousy personal trainers. To be a good personal trainer, you need to be a serious bully.
Ooh, I could do that. Be back here in 2 minutes. Don't be late. Back to Public Property, the show where you decide where our 7 participants are going next in their lives. Now, Rebecca had a bit of an easy week last week catching up with Miss College work, but Carla was kept hard at it by celebrity fitness trainer Nikki Waterman. Does she have what it takes to be a personal instructor?
Carla's off to the gym where she works, but not to sit behind her desk. She's got to get her fitness levels up to tackle this week's challenge, working out with Nikki Waterman, personal trainer to the stars. Shadowing Nikki will give Carla an insight into being a personal trainer, to discover if she wants to follow this as a new career.
I've got this preconception that I'm going to have to be out at 6 every morning jogging with people. I've now realised that personal training can actually be a housewife who just wants to go for a walk an hour a day, and that's what, you know, her personal training. So in an idea, I've thought more about taking it up, but what I'd really like is to do fitness videos.
Meanwhile, it's back to the hard slog at college for Becca. It's a far cry from her glamorous modelling assignment in London.
Up until last week, I hadn't missed all that much at university, but during the fashion show, I've missed a couple of lectures, but I have caught up on them afterwards. It's just I'm finding not a lot of time to do some extra reading, but even though I'm getting the classes in.
Whilst Carla's still hard at it, Becca's nipped out for some essential Valentine's shopping for boyfriend Nathan.
Nathan can be quite romantic sometimes. When he is romantic, he's very, very romantic. But sometimes he goes through spells where we just live day by day. But special occasions he usually is. For example, Valentine's Day, we always go out for a nice meal. And birthdays, he always takes me out somewhere nice.
Well, that's Becca sorted for Valentine's, but what's Carla up to? She's been single for 4 years now.
I don't think Carla's got any plans for tonight at the moment. There is a bar in town which she says she might go to, which is only letting single people in tonight. So it's quite fun. And she says she might go to there, but she might just sit in as well and watch the TV. I don't think she's got any definite plans at the moment.
Mum Mary doesn't have any plans for Valentine's night either, so she and Carla are going to keep each other company.
I think we may sort of try and make a night of it, go out for and have a nice meal somewhere, build her strength up, make sure she's had something to eat, and then just see what happens afterwards, you know. We'll have a nice drink while we're out there.
But for one member of the household, love is definitely on the menu.
I think Carla's quite envious because she's been single for a long time, and even though, you know, she's not man-mad, I think these are the kind of nights when she wishes, I wish I had someone to take me out, I wish I had a few cars coming through the doors. I don't think she's particularly bothered, but I think when she sees me, because I've been with Nathan 3 years, and we do buy each other presents and cards and go out for meals quite a lot, I think she wishes she was in that position sometimes.
Couples expect you to be depressed that you're not going out with anybody and to go and find the nearest bloke to come out and have a drink with you just so you don't look single in a bar. But in all honesty, it's just another night, and I'm not sort of dissing, as you sort of say, Valentine's Day, but if you can't go out with your boyfriend any other day and feel the same way as you do on Valentine's Day, then what's the point? It's just a big hype, really, isn't it?
The next morning, and while Becca's sleeping off her romantic meal, Carla's off to Hertfordshire, ready to start this week's task.
Hello, how are you? Not scared of dogs, are you?
No.
She's taking lessons from Nikki Waterman, the Sun's fitness guru and trainer to the stars such as Robbie Williams and All Saints. Nikki has recruited friend Mandy to be a guinea pig for Carla.
The most important part also being you have to be able to interact with other people very easily. You have to love people. You have to love what, I mean, I love, my job is not like a job, it's my hobby. You know, I'm doing my hobby. Yeah. I love it. Up like here, when you go down, Mandy, just bring your arms down. Right, it's important that when she comes down, her hands are just above her elbows, then you know she's in the right position. Now, she's going to push up. Pre-tour, for instance, All Saints, they will have their choreographer every day, but they'll also train with me an hour before their choreography routine, so they're quite disciplined. Their nutrition is now good. When they first came to me, their nutrition was diabolical. You know, it was pot noodles. Admittedly, they didn't have a lot of money, but you know, we still worked out even on a low budget. Go on, go for it, girl. Run, jog. Ooh. There are lots of personal trainers around, but there are good personal trainers and there are lousy personal trainers. To be a good personal trainer, you need to be a serious bully, because I have a lot of celebrity clients, and when they come to me, they are used to being pampered. They have their makeup done for them, they have their stylist with them. When they come to me, they got to listen to me. She's puffed. Completely puffed. You know what you've got to do for next week? I want you to set all those goals, I want you to achieve them, and I'm going to test you. All right? That means training every day, or 6 days a week, okay? Even for 5 minutes, you'll get the rewards, okay? So I want you to do your skipping, your running, your bench press, your press-ups, and your crunches. Right, we'll do it all next week. How's that sound?
Wonderful.
Good. That's what I'd like to hear.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Carla, have you kept up with the training all over the weekend?
I did. Saturday, yes.
Sunday?
I did day off Sunday.
That didn't take you long, did it?
My personal challenge is to get fit again. By the end of the series, I will be. Nikki will be proud.
How would it fit in with your health if you decided to pursue the personal training? Because, you know, you are waiting for a kidney transplant. I mean, is it something you could seriously consider?
I've not really thought about it. It's probably one of the options why I wouldn't take it up. Wouldn't like to let people down.
Right.
Because once you start with somebody, you have to then refer them, wouldn't I? So at the moment, I'll concentrate on my self-fitness level.
Right, bit of a question mark over then. Peter, would you fancy Carla as your personal fitness instructor?
That's a bit of a shock. It's a bit of a shock, Kate. I wouldn't mind.
Yes.
Pardon?
The answer's yes.
The answer's yes, I would love to be, yes. You need a good man in your life. That's what you need.
Oh, that didn't take you long, Peter.
Have you ever thought of joining a dating agency?
No.
Peter,
not yet. Not yet.
Sorry.
Peter, I was trying to guide you in gently there and you came straight in with you need a man in your life. I have to say, Carla, you were giving Rebecca a few dirty looks when that film was playing because, you know, Rebecca, you were saying that perhaps she's a bit jealous of you and your relationship with Nathan and all the rest of it. And you were sitting there giving it that.
Yeah. Well, why do you think I'm jealous?
I didn't say she was jealous.
Envious.
Because you said you was envious of my age because I was younger.
Not your boyfriend.
I just said you was envious. Wider context. But you didn't have any plans for the night, did you? Didn't mind me saying she didn't. Maybe if she'd had an offer, then she would have had, but not that she didn't have any offers.
What a fantastic smile that is you've got on here, Carla. Yes, it's like
Sticking myself.
But listen, tell me honestly, if I had a magic wand here, you know, and I said to you, right, bing, I can get you either the perfect guy or a great job, what would it be?
I'd have the great job, which would then bring about the perfect guy.
Is the correct answer. Do you think that's the way it should be led?
Definitely. I don't think you should even contemplate having a man in your life until you start loving yourself a little bit more.
What do you think would be the right career for Carla?
I think there's a lot of things that Carla could put her hand to. It's just knowing exactly which one she would be best at. The personal training, I think she would be good at it, but I think with similar jobs, I think she'd get bored after a while. I think she has to be in a job where there's ladders all the time going further and further up, so she's always got something to aim for.
Yeah, but you know, I think that's difficult in any job. You know, they always have periods where, you know, things are just quite dull for a while, and maybe you just have to stick at that. You don't like that bit?
No.
That's the hard bit.
Yeah, maybe that's what I need to get over then.
Right, we're going to switch the focus back to you, Rebecca, because it's time for your next big decision. Now, Carla, you stick at the fitness. You want to do it for yourself apart from anything else. Whether it turns out to be a job opportunity or not, you want to do it for yourself. So you stick at that and we'll catch up with how you're getting on. Yeah. But Rebecca, you went down to London, you went to the model agency to see if you could make it as a model, and the long and the short of it was you were too short, basically. But you're still very interested in fashion and you're doing this media studies course, so we're going to see if you could impress the editor of Cosmopolitan magazine. So, are you ready to surrender your free will and place your destiny in the hands of the viewing public?
Yes, I am.
You are.
Sounds
good, right. Well, here's 3 cracking options for you. Well, in fact, for you at home, what do you think would be best for Rebecca? Should she, 1, track down a top fashion designer to interview, and you've got to do the tracking there, or try and get one of the most sought-after tickets, which is a seat at the London Fashion Week, and write a review, or to try to discover Britain's next up-and-coming fashion designer and write an article about him or her. Sound good?
Yeah, they sound really good.
Yeah, challenging, yeah. If you've already made up your mind what Rebecca should do, then you call the number next to your preferred option. Charlotte, what do you reckon? What would be the best out of those?
I think the London Fashion Week one, because I think not only will you sort of learn a lot about writing, and which is what you're interested in, but also you'll probably get a lot of chances to meet other people, get contacts from there as well.
Yeah, well, it is a business, it's all about contact, so that's probably a good thought. What do you think, Kim?
I think the first one, tracking down a famous designer, it'll give her an in-depth as to how serious and hard the business is, rather than just finding somebody that's not sort of up and running as yet. Ah, yeah, well that is good thinking. The ones that are already there are a lot more difficult to get than the ones who want to be there, aren't they? Yes. Well, good thoughts from our council members. What do you think? Remember, Rebecca's life is on hold until you pick up that phone. If you think she should interview an established fashion designer, then call 0901 561 5001. If you think she should write a review of London Fashion Week, call 0901 561 5002. Or if you think she should write an article about an up-and-coming British designer, then call 0901 561 5003. Only you can decide what Rebecca does next. The lines are open for the next 2 hours. Now, Rebecca, I'm sure there's one of those that you particularly fancy above the rest, so perhaps you'd like to have a wee chat with the viewers out there and tell them which one it is.
Number 1 and number 2 are a lot more appealing. It'd be great to get some contacts in my little black book for my forthcoming career, so I think number 2 would be the best for me, because I think I'd meet a lot of people, but I also like talking to people, so number 1 would be fine.
All right, but London Fashion Week would be pretty exciting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be. I'm getting quite used to London. I quite like London.
Well, it's only you at home who can decide whether or not Rebecca heads back off to London again and does a review of London Fashion Week, or maybe you think differently. Give us a ring and tell us what you think she should do. Now, tomorrow we'll be finding out whether Mark has got the gift of the gab as he co-hosts his live radio show. And don't forget, you can find out what you've voted Rebecca gets up to at the top fashion magazine Cosmopolitan. You can also check out the latest hot gossip on our participants by logging on to www.itv.co.uk and clicking on public property. Remember, they are your property, so take good care of them. Goodbye.